10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Philippine Native Chicken Karagdagang Kaalaman.
This is what I call the topic now that we mentioned is about the hindrances in the establishment of the project pertinent in the commercial production of Philippine Native Chicken. Actually, this is not only hindi lang po to particular in terms of the Philippine Native Chicken, but even the foreign native chicken that you have in your respective areas. Ano ba talaga ang mga kahirapan or mga hindrances diyan lalo na pag patayo po ninyo ng project? Ang isa sa pinaka-common talaga na nakita namin that the majority, ibig sabihin when we say about majority, that is 50% plus 1%. 51% of the respondents really experience in terms of what they call, to sum up, yung pinaka-hindrances is in terms of the packages of technology. The second is the capital requirement, marketing, and the least one is what they call the restricted travel due to pandemic. But sa ngayon po, focus muna tayo in terms of the packages of technology. There are a number of person that would like to engage in this kind of project. But ang problema natin kasi, if you will be engaging in commercial production, but you are using the technology in terms of the backyard scale of production. Ano bang pinagkaiba ng backyard with the commercial scale of production? Tandaan nyo palagi is that once that will be engaging this kind of project, marami kasi noon ang nag-engage in producing native chicken because talagang na-inspire sila because of the price of native chicken in the market na kung saan po on the premium price. However, if you raise greater number of chicken, ang magiging problema natin is the technology. There are no technology then na talagang pang-commercial, and it is only on to 2012 when Central Philippine University together with the West Visayas State University, Capi State University, and Aklan State University, and even some farmers cooperator that we have, the ISCOP din, the Iloilo State College of Fisheries, na kung saan po naging bahagi ng project ng DOST on the promotion of the Darag native chicken. Isa kasi yan sa nakita namin is that why is that really there is what they call a premium requirement, premium price for that native chicken, and the demand is greater. But why is that given those opportunity? Bakit na kaunti pa rin ang alaga po ng native chicken? Ano bang makahirapan doon? But before we deal with it, we'll be discussing muna the differences. Ano ba talaga ang pinakaiba ng packages of technology? Kasi pag sinabi kasi natin na packages of technology, ibig sabihin po that is the technology intended na kung saan from the old chicks hanggang na makomplete po ang cycle. The old, in terms kasi ng growth life cycle ng manok kasi you have what you call the starter, the brooder stage. That is from 1 day to 30 days old. And then 31 to 60, that is the starter. And 60 and up, up to 90 days and 120, that is the grower age. Samantala, yung isa naman is that when we say about the replacement pallets and then the breeder, yung replacement pallets natin, that is from 4 months hanggang 6 months yan. Pag breeder na yan, that is 6 months and older. Now, ano ba talaga ang pinagkaiba on this kind of technology? Because the packages is that it is not only that will be contented that on how to raise it. Kasi ang backyard kasi, in terms of the number of hens, the number of chicken that you will be raising is less than 30 hens. Iba kasi ang teknolohiya. Pag sinabi natin, okay, I will be raising only 30 hens. Iba kasi ang pag-usapan dyan if there is what they call the limited number of your breeder stocks. Kasi dito sa commercial scale of production, actually, ang pinopromote po namin, the most practical way, the combination is that 7:1. 7 inahin sa bawat isang tandang. Now, the 30 hens na yan, hindi naman ganon kahirap yan alagaan. Compare than you will be raising na kung saan po maramihan na kung saan, pag sinabi nating maramihan, pag sinabi natin kasing maramihan is that na you are raising more than 30 heads. Na umaabot yan kahit by the hundreds. Now, the number of heads, kasi pag dumami kasing manok nyo, na ang intricacy of the operation, even the housing. Yan kung bakit na palaging sinasabi namin is that na if you'll be engaging directly in this kind of project, ang housing pa lang, no, isa yan sa makosin, the number of beds. Now, the point that we have is that na pag sinabi po natin kasi, that for the common practice kasi in backyard, pag kaunti yung inahin kasi, pag-ala lang yan, no? Walang maraming problema diyan kasi even the investment that you are putting kasi mas kaunti yan. Unlike, no, if you'll be raising by the hundred of heads, yun palagi sasabi natin that kung kaunting manok mo, walang masyadong problema, but pag dumami yung manok nyo, doon na pumapasok ang problema. And that is what we have found out na dito po sa may Central Philippine University. Yung kung bakit that when we started the project way back in 2012, na yung kung bakit na siguro sa mga nakauna-una na nakapunta dito sa CPU, kung makikita po ninyo yung development po ng various housing that we have and even the ranging yard that we have. Ang makikita po nyo sa picture, that is what they call the housing that we have for the grower chicken, na kung saan po the dimension is about 5 feet by 20 feet, by 5 feet yung width niya, but yung haba niya niyan is about mga 20 feet and it can hold about 50 grower chicken. Na parang gano'n yan. And we found out pala na kahit na pagalain yung manok with that area, na halos yung patuka niyan, na pag may damo yan, na hindi tatagal. The area of that is about mga 50 square meters. Na 50 square meters. Na, so, that is the difference in terms of the number. Now, in terms of housing kasi, ang housing kasi natin in terms of the backyard, kung makikita po nyo dyan sa may bandang kaliwa po nyo, ang tawag namin doon is what they call the colony type of housing. Pag sinabi kasi natin colony type of housing, ang sisiw nyo, ang growers nyo, pati yung mga inahin, tandang, na o various ages po, no, inalagaan yan within a single housing. Doon sila lahat nakalagay. Yung kung bakit na minsan matiraang matibay. And if you're going to employ this kind of housing, tandaan po natin palagi that the old chicks, na yung mga the old chicks kasi, yan kasi ang vulnerable sector. Now, on native chicken, and even another group of native chicken, ang mga sisiw po is highly vulnerable. Highly vulnerable. Vulnerable in terms of the transmission of infection and vulnerable kahit na sa allocation of feeds. Bakit po? Pag binigyan nyo kasi ng patuka, gawin niya na malaki. And minsan, anong nangyari dyan, pag sama-sama na sila, pag bigay mo ng patuka, no, inaapakan pati yung sisyo, paano darami yung manok nyo? Yung kung bakit na minsan sabihin nila, walang problema, Dok, at the first few years po, dumadami yung manok namin. But mind you, after several years. Bakit po? Because na kung saan po, pag dumami yung manok nyo, lalo na pag lumalaking yung iba, ang problema natin, yung mga siso na mapakan po, patay yan. Na yun kung bakit. And then beside yung mga matatandang manok po ninyo, that is one that serve as a carrier of infections. Yung kung bakit sabihin nila, walang problema, Dok, kasing tibay ang manok namin na to sa sakit. Tama po yan, basta yung manok po nyo is aging about 3 months and older. However, if yung manok po nyo is less than 1 month po or less than 45 days po, na napaka-vulnerable yan. And that is why that in commercial scale of production, what we discovered is that na dapat na yung life cycle, ang colonies type of housing po, pwede bang iwan natin yan for the backyard. For the backyard kasi, ang pinaka-purpose ng backyard is that it is for the household consumption only. And what is being reached in the market is the surpluses in terms of the product. Ibig sabihin po, pag may sobra o di kaya may pang-emerhensya, yan ang binibenta. But if you will be raising native chicken for the purpose na kung saan po talagang ibenta nyo sa market, pwede bang sundan natin ang life cycle housing? Pag sabi kasi nating life cycle housing po, iba ang para sa mga CCO po ninyo na lalo na po yung during the brooding age. Kasi ang pinaka-critical kasi na edad ng manok na kung saan po dapat ingatan po natin is the first 45 days. Tama po yung mga sagot po ninyo in the survey na nakita ng problema is on that age. But if you're going to dissect yan, the first 1 week po ng edad ng manok po nyo, hindi ganoon po kasi hindi naman ganoon kataas yung mortality. On the second and on the third week, alam nyo, because the infection nag-uumpisa doon sa first week, nagmamanifest yan on the second and third week. Yung kung bakit sabihin nyo, look, yung sisiw namin on the first week, wala namang maraming sakit. But ang problema namin, nag-umpisa sa at the second and third week. Ganon po yan. Dapat na yung first week nyo po, ingatan po ninyo. That is why that dapat yung ating broader area po na dapat na possibly bang i-disinfect natin bago lagyan ng mga sisiw yan. And possibly po, kaya nga sabi natin that try to employ what they call the life cycle housing. Life cycle housing. Kasi iba ang para sa sisiw, iba ang para sa mga pataba. Ida natin yung more than 45 days, ibahin natin, and then ang breeder naman natin, ibahin naman natin yung housing. Para at least, there is what they call separation. If ever na merong infection doon sa may breeder natin, it should only be confined among the breeders. Ang isa pa sa katanungan sa nag-reply po sa ating survey, sabi daw, Dok, ang problema namin, yung mga manok namin, every time na pumapasok yung tag-ulan o kaya di tag-araw, parang inatake ng atay, yung peste o Newcastle disease, pwede bang bakunahan po ninyong manok nyo pag maramihan? But possibly, pwede bang in different areas po, sa isang taon po, kahit makalawang bisis lang po, bakunahan po ninyo ang mga breeder stocks nyo at ang mga manok po ninyo. Bigyan nyo po, yung malaki po, bigyan po ninyo ng NCD Lasuta, at saka yung isa po naman, yung mga sisyo, that is about 3 to 5 days, bigyan nyo ng NCD B1B1 para at least maging safety sila. But in terms of the housing, kaya nga sabi natin that the housing baits up. Ang isa po sa nakikita natin is that minsan sabihin natin, Dok, parang medyo may kamahalan ng konti pag bawat isa is, for example, iba yung brooding area mo, iba yung starter, at saka iba yung grower age mo. But try to compute the number of mortality that you have. Try to compute it and accumulate it in a year. Saan po kayo makamura? Yung may individual housing based on age, o di kaya isama-sama nyo? Ang mortality nyo, tandaan nyo palagi that if you can see the design of housing that we have sa ilalim na yan, ang hangin po is very critical. Ang karamihan po sa mga kahirapan po is sakit. Can we have the most practical housing? Housing pa lang yan. In terms of number, pag sinabi natin na backyard, that is about less than 30 heads. Ang pinag-usapan natin dito is inahin lang. Ibig sabihin, if you're going to multiply it by the chicks, iba naman ang usapan. Dadami na yan. But if you're going to talk it in terms of the commercial, ibig sabihin po, more than 30 heads, by the hundreds na yan yung inahin. And we are counting it. Ang tandang naman, tandaan nyo palagi is that the ratio that we have is that 7:1. Huwag nyong gawing 5:1. Ibig sabihin na 5 inahin sa isang tandang po, ay nako, magastos yan. That is impractical. And the differences in terms of the tawag dito yung fertility and stability po, hindi ganon malaki ang diferensya compared than 7:1. Now, after the life cycle housing, the next differences in terms of what they call the feeding. Sa feeding. Kasi ang sabi palagi is that kasi pag native kasi sabihin natin na kahit na pag-alain natin yung manok, walang problema. Bakit? Because na medyo marami-rami yung mga potoka na makikita po sa paligid. And that is right. Tama po yan. As long as the number of chicken that you have po is counted. Tandaan po natin, studies were conducted that for every 100 heads ng manok na growers, ilagay po nyo sa lugar na puno ng damo, 100 square meter can be used up, eaten up, in less than a week. Ganon po yun. Yung kung bakit na kung makikita po nyo on the right side po ninyo dyan, kung kaharap po nyo ang screen nyo, o di kaya dyan sa inyong mga Android phone po. That is why that we are putting up, no, yung mga damo na yan para at least yung requirement po ng manok sa patuka po. The requirement in terms of the nutrient, in terms of the specific fiber requirement ng native po, iba compared than the commercial breed. Iba. Bakit po? Yung commercial breed, no, halos yung fiber requirement yan is about 5%. Ang native, ang fiber requirement yan is 11%. Hindi ibig sabihin kung ganun, look, lagyan namin ng darak o di kaya risal para dumami, maawa po kayo. Hindi ganun ang ibig ko sabihin. Now, the fiber, iba kasi ang structure kasi ng katawan ng ng bituka ng manok na native, no, compare natin po sa commercial breed. Bakit po? Ang commercial breed, genetically po, they were accustomed to consume yung mga less fibrous na patuka po. But po the native, pag less than 10% yung fiber requirement niyan, magiging problema po natin fertility and stability. And how can we improve it? Na kung saan po ma-attain yung target na 11% na fiber requirement po ng manok po ninyo. That is why that please dagdagan nyo ng damo. O di kaya kung walang damo niyan sa paligid nyo, pwede bang magtanim kayo ng kamote, kangkong, o di kaya kung makikita po nyo noon ang saging po, ang stem ng saging na yan, no, it can be chopped or it can have it be hung nasa loob mismo ng housing ng manok nyo para at least yung patuka po mabawas-bawasan. Yun ang isa sa nagiging problema natin, na sabihin natin sobrang mahal kasi, sobrang mahal. Ang isang manok po, if you're going to compute the requirement, if you're going to have them feed, no, talagang commercial feeds, o di kaya yung tawag natin ito concentrates po. Kasi pag ang mga binibigay po nyo dyan is we're calling it commonly as concentrates. Ang isang manok po from day old hanggang aabot yan ng 90 days old, o di kaya at the weight of about 850 grams po. Ang feed requirement niyan is almost more than 3 kilos. To be exact, now in terms of the averages, that is about 3.25 kilograms. Isipin nyo, if you are going to have it na kung saan po lahat-lahat ng patuka po nyo, idepende po nyo sa market, kawawa po kayo. That is why that palaging sinasabi ko dito that the fiber requirement of the chicken, once your chicken reaches at the age of 45 days, pwede bang dahan-dahanin natin? Bigyan nyo po ng mga succulent na damo po. Ibig sabihin po, yung kanilang tawag dito, yung mga vine nila po, hindi ganun katigasan. Pareho ng kangkong, tricantera, no? Yan po ang ibigay nyo. Kasi ang manok kasi hinahanap yung succulent part niyan at yan ang kinakain nila. Now, if you're going to have it na ibigay po nyo sa manok nyo, ano ba ang kagandahan yan? Alam nyo, yung manok kasi, lalo na pag-usapan natin, is yung manok na kung saan yellow-legged na, at saka yellow skin. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Hanapin yung manok na yan. In terms of the taste po, mas masarap yan compared than the other chicken possessing other yellow leg color and skin color po. Ang damo kasi is that na there are a lot of nutrients na pwede po makuha dyan ng manok po ninyo. Ang tanong ngayon, gaano po Dok ba karami ang pwede naming i-mix, no, sa patuka namin if we're going to mix to have it, no? Ang pwede po nyo gamitin yan is that the maximum weight is 25%. Ibig sabihin po, pag ang manok po ninyo sa isang araw kumukonsumo ng 100 grams, dapat ang ibigay ninyo na damo po o kung finely chopped na kangkong, kamote, o di kaya alugbate o ano bang mga dyan sa paligid nyo, basta succulent po, that is about 25 grams. 25 grams. But we may suggest na siguro ang pinakamabilis kasi na makarecover po is yung kangkong at saka kamote po. No, lalo na po yung kangkong, every week you can harvest it na kung saan po pwede nyo i-chop. And that is one way on how you can reduce the possible cost ng pag-alaga po ninyo ng manok. Yan kasi ang nakita namin na pamaraan. Now, from 3.25 Now, from day old hanggang 90 days old yan. No, base dito sa data namin at Central Philippine University. Pag dagdagan po nyo yan ng finely chopped na mga green peas na sabi ko kanina, your chicken can only consume a maximum of 2.5 kilograms. 2.5 kilograms. Bawat isa yung usapan natin dito ha. Try to multiply it with the number of chicken that you have. At saka yung manok na binigyan po nyo ng mga green peas po in terms of sickness po na tumataas po ang resistensya niyan. Yung kung bakit that ang problema natin in terms of the giving of the supplemental feeds. Alam nyo kasi the taste of the chicken, though based on the study that we have, ang manok kasi habang dumadami po ang klase ng ginagamit yung patoka dyan sa kanila, lalong sumasarap yung karne niya. Alam nyo kasi, ang timplada ng lasa ng karne ng manok, nasa patoka yan. Nasa patoka yan. With the numbers, with the decade of study, with the number of decade, with the decade pala ng, sa isang dekada na pag-aaral po namin, pananaliksik po, ang sekreto niyan is that is in terms of the feeds that you'll be using. Now, ang isa lang sa consideration natin is that na any plant or green plants na wag nyo lang gamitin yung tawag dito yung kakawate at saka yung ipil-ipil. Bakit po? Because of the toxic substance na nandyan dyan. In terms of the kakawate kasi meron yan cyanic acid. At saka yung sa may ipil-ipil naman po ang presence po ng mimosine po. No, pag nasobrahan niya ng 5%, ang problema nyo, no, baka malason yung manok nyo. Yung kung bakit na kaunti dapat ilagay nyo. Ang paggamit po ng moringa leaves po, pwede po nyo magamit yan. But again, the effective level of concentration ng moringa leaves na kung gusto nyo idagdag yan sa patoka ng manok po ninyo, that is only 1.25%. Ibig sabihin po, for 100 kilograms ng patoka nyo, ang kailangan nyo lang ng moringa leaves is only 1.25 kilograms. Ganon po lang kaliit. Huwag nyo pasobrahan po. Bakit? It is because of the presence of tannic acid. Kasi kung makikita po nyo yung green na dahon na yan, there is what they call the presence of tannin. Ang tannin na yan, pag nakapasok yan sa loob ng katawan ng manok nyo, ang magiging problema nyo, binablock yung enzyme responsible for the digestions of the protein and other substances. Yung kung bakit na pwede bang huwag yung damihan, except for the kangkong and these mga tanim na kung saan po mataas yung water content sa katawan nila. No? Kasi kahit damihan mo up to 20%, walang problema yan. Tanong kasi, sabi, Doc, pwede ba ang tawag dito yung asola? Walang problema po ang asola as long as ang area na kung saan pinapadami nyo ang asola po is malinis. Bakit? Pag ang area po is highly contaminated at saka marami ang presensya po ng tawag dito ng parasites po, baka mailagay sa alanganin ang mga manok po ninyo. At the same time, huwag nyo pasobrahan po by 20%. 20% po ang maximum level natin para at least na maging safe ang lahat. Once na pasobrahan po nyo, the performances of your chicken will decline. Will decline yan. Yung kung bakit and that is one way that we can suggest nyo para po sa inyo na kung saan po mapababa pa ninyo po ang mga kagastuhanan po ninyo on the feeding pa lang yan. Kasi if you're going to account yung feeds kasi, sobrang laki kasi yan na contribution sa pagpalaki ng manok po ninyo. That is why that we are finding means on how it could be listened. Na kung pwede bang mapababaan natin yung patuka. Kasi pag naka-less po kayo, mas mainam po. Now, aside from the feeding, kasi ang ating native, if you're going to have it be-range, they are dependable on the scavengable feed resources. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng scavengable feed resources? Yan ang mga patuka po na makikita po sa ranging area o sa ginagalaan po ng manok ninyo. damo, bulate, ood. Ang problema natin kasi dyan, that is highly dependent on the season. Ibig sabihin po, during the dry season po, halos yung availability ng scavengable feed resources po, bumababa yan. And during the rainy season naman po, dumadami yan. That is why that if you are a keen consumer of native chicken, iba ang lasa ng manok, ng karin ng manok during the dry season and iba ang lasa ng manok during the rainy season. Kaya nga kung gusto mo na kung saan ang quality po ng manok nyo, walang masyadong problema po, try to na formulate po ng patuka po ninyo. Now, there are also some others who would like to ask about how about Madre de Agua? Actually, the Madre de Agua can also be used as feed for your chicken. Ang tawag po namin doon is green feeds. You can use it, basta nandoon lang yan. Kaya lang ang isa sa tingnan natin is that and the rate of growth, ano ba ang pinakamabilis na dumami, na humaba. Kasi ang kangkong kasi at kamote, lalo na po ang kangkong, basta merong tubig yan na every week po, every other week po, pwede nyo maharbisan yan at saka ipatuka po sa manok ninyo. Kasi in the backyard scale of production, na pagkaunting manok nyo, na feeding is not a must. Ibig sabihin po, for as long as the area po is marami ang mga bulate at damo, wala po kayong problema. Pero tandaan nyo, as the number of your chicken increases po, ang problema sa patuka, kakulangan po, papasok na yan. Yung kung bakit that if you are going to raise the native chicken in commercial scale, try to give them the supplemental feeds. Kaya nga sa mga area na medyo malayo dito sa CPUR, and we are recommending na siguro ang isa lang sa ma-recommend namin na makapag-reduce po ng cost nyo, try to use what they call the commercial feeds, but it should be 50-50. Anong ibig sabihin yan? 50% commercial feeds at saka ang 50% po gamitan po nyo ng milled corn. Kung wala pong milled corn, yung giniling na mais po, you can use yung rice bran. Pero pwede bang kaunting ingat, lalo na pag sisiyo ang bibigyan po ninyo? Bakit po? Magiging problema nyo pag if you're going to use yung darak po o yung rice bran, yung pinakamapino po niyan, na sa mga sisiw po nyo, that is one of the reason why nagtatae ang mga sisiw nyo. Bakit? It is because of the fat content of that rice bran po. Kaya nga pwede bang huwag yung damihan? Kung ilang porsyento ba kung pwede idagdag? Siguro at 5 to 10% po nandoon lang yan. Pero huwag nyo pasubrahan dyan. Otherwise kasi ang sisiw po ninyo na magiging magtatae yan because of the fat content. Now, aside from the feeding, ang sakit kasi ng manok kasi, that is highly correlated sa dami. Habang dumadami po ang manok po ninyo, you will experience also various diseases. That is why that ano ba ang connection ng sinabi ko kanina na life cycle housing with the flock health management. Yung mga sakit kasi, karamihan po sa mga nagsumagot po sa survey namin, ang palaging sinasabi, Dok, ano ang mabuting pantambal sa sakit na to? Dok, anong sakit to? Dok, paano po ma-reduce ang sakit? On the backyard scale of production kasi, recording po, wala. Matira ang matibay. Yung kung bakit at the colony type of housing, pag sama-sama yung mga manok po nyo dyan sa loob ng bahay na yan, ang highly vulnerable, as I mentioned, is those, yung mga sisiyo nyo less than 45 days old. Pag nagbigay po kayo ng patuka sa manok nyo, at hindi kayo ganun ka-particular na dapat i-separate yung mga sisiyo nyo, pag naapakan ng malalaki ang mga sisiyo nyo, ay nakulagot. Pag ang sisiyo nyo naman on the range, umulan kagabi, and then hindi nyo nalagay doon sa sila sa loob ng co-op, o kaya kulungan nila, Pag umaga lumabas, kasama na yung inahin, pag nabasa yan ng hamog sa labas, o di kaya ng moisture sa labas po, ay nako, stress yan. Yung kung bakit na pag umalis yung sisiyo mo, pag mabasa yung paligid po, basa po yung paligid po, umalis ng umaga, 10, paghapon, pagbalik, 5 na lang ang naiwan. That is why that iba kasi ang procedure. Kaya nga sabi namin palagi is that if you are going to raise your native chicken in commercial na maramihan po and you adopt the backyard scale of production, hindi po kayo tatagal. Hindi po kayo tatagal. And that is what they call the reality. And we even tested that in the station that we have since 2012 po. Yung kung bakit that we keep on promoting this kind of technology, bakit po? Because ang market demand po sobrang taas. Ang problema lang natin is that the technology that should be adapted, the niche market po native chicken, lalo na pong inalagaan po, na libre po sa synthetic chemical po, tumataas, dumadami ang nangangailangan yan. Pero ang problema po natin is that number also of raisers would like to raise the native chicken, kaya lang pag na-encounter ang ganitong problema po, ay nako, na laglag yung muka pa nakita na maraming patay ang sisiw. Ang makikita po nyo dyan sa kabila po, that's how we process then yung mga pantambal sa sakit ng manok namin. And that is out of the plant extracts. And I firmly believe na kung saan po yung mga plant extracts na yan po is highly potent. Ang nagiging problema namin din, ang mga manok namin na namatay hindi because sa sakit, because na overdose. Alam nyo kasi pag ang mortality po ng manok on the free range, that is about 60%. Ibig sabihin, for every 106 that you have na maproduce po nyo, only 40 of it na ang pili nyo makain, ang mabenta po nyo. The 60% of it, pupasok sa mortality yan. And that is why na kung matandaan nyo, na palaging sinasabi ko, if you're going to add all the cost in raising native chicken in backyard po, magkano ang isang manok nyo? Na nag-weigh yan about mga 890 to 850 to 1 kilo. That is 250 pesos. If you're going to sum up all the expenses, including all the mortality of chicken that you have. And how can we improve it? Is that na, kaya nga sabi namin is that na kahit sa design ng housing po, very critical. At 5% carbon dioxide sa loob ng housing nyo, it will trigger sipon, halak po. That is why that ventilation is very critical. Yung kung bakit na kahit sa border area po nyo, pwede bang lagyan nyo naman na kahit konting daanan yung hangin na bago para at least yung hangin naman na mga kargado po ng carbon dioxide po, lalabas yan. Otherwise kasi pag contaminated ang hangin at 5% level of carbon dioxide po, malagay po sa delikado ang manok po ninyo. And why we keep on promoting plant extracts? To those who are using, tawag namin dito is the concoction po, patuloy po. Gamitin po nyo yan. Tandaan ninyo that the concoction that you are preparing, lalo na po if you are using what they call the molasses po, as one of the substrate po, it is with Corneum bacterium. Ang mikrobyo po, as long as it is located on the area where it should be, hindi yan madudulot po ng sakit. However, pag dumami yan at lumagpas na sa area na dapat hindi sa kanya, sakit po ang dulot niyan. That is why that we keep on promoting the plant extra kasi walang problema. Walang problema. You can have it be done. No, yung kung bakit na sabi namin, ang garlic po is one of the effective. Effective po yan. Ang problema natin is the level of concentration lang. Now, in terms of incubation po, incubation. Ito kasi isa din sa mga critical. Pwede bang if you are going to engage in commercial scale of production of native chicken, bago po kayo mag-umpisa, pwede bang pag-aralan nyo muna number of raisers, number of OFW, number of weekend farmers, number of agripreneurs na bumisita po sa amin dito. they start up immediately the project that they have without the proper knowledge on how to do it. Delikado po ang ginagawa po ninyo. Mahal po ang tuition fee po ninyo. Kaya nga sabi namin palagi is that na pwede bang bago po kayo mag-umpisa, pwede bang i-equip nyo muna ang sarili nyo and try to make a project study. Ano ba ang dapat na gawin nyo? If you are going to start your project na kung saan po all the capital that you have will be borrowed from the bank, ang tinutulungan po nyo, hindi sarili nyo. Tandaan natin that to expand your project is not bad, but pwede bang only 30% of what you have invested should be borrowed from the bank. Because even magpapisa po tayo ng sisiyo, kung backyard yan, ang isa sa consideration natin is that they're using what they call the natural means of incubation. Yung inahin ang brood po, naglilimlim po sa itlog hanggang na mapisa, hanggang magsisiw yan. Kaya lang ang problema natin, ang isang manok na yan, if you are going to allow natural incubation po, ang magiging problema po natin is that it can only produce a maximum of 60 eggs per year. However, kung ang manok po, pinapaitlog nyo and then you're using what they call the artificial incubation, aabot yan hanggang 120 to 150 sa isang taon po. It depends on your cultural management of that feeder stocks. Kaya nga palaging sabi ko, pwede bang bantayan nyo ang mga inahin nyo? Pag tumaba yan ng sobra, delikado. Pag payat din, delikado din. Dapat katamtaman lang yung katawan yan. Otherwise kasi, it can affect fertility and stability. And the common problem na minsan na-receive namin dito in terms of the incubation is that the temperature setting. Pwede bang pag bumili po kayo ng incubator, regardless from where you buy it, pwede bang sabihin nyo muna doon sa binilhan nyo, pwede bang i-calibrate muna nila? Kasi pag hindi kinalibrate yan at pinadala po sa inyo, using the digital one or the microcontroller po, hindi accurate yan. Pwede bang ipakalibrate nyo muna? And if kung makadating po sa inyo dyan, kung mayroon po kayo dyan na mga thermometer, na that is a mercury one or the analog one, no, use it as a basis para po ma-adjust nyo ang setting ng microcontroller. Tandaan po natin na as the temperature increases more than to 37.8 hanggang 38.1, tandaan nyo, early hatching yan. Ang magiging problema nyo, ang sisiw niyan, karamihan sa mga sisiw hindi makalabas sa itlog, it is because na nag-dry yung moisture sa loob. If the temperature naman is less than 37.4, aakyat dito sa 36.5, late hatching naman ang magiging problema po ninyo. Yung kung bakit that pwede bang pag bumili po kayo ng mga ganitong gamit, pwede bang sa pinagbilhan po nyo, sabihin nyo, please, pa-calibrate muna. Otherwise, pag hindi na-calibrate yan at saka ginamit nyo, baka malagay po sa alanganin yung ginagawa po ninyo. Now, brooding. Kasi pag maramihan kasi, iba naman ang usapan. Pwede bang sa brooding? To those who may be baguhan pa and still planning to engage, ang sinasabi ko kanina ng co-op, parang ganito yan sa kaliwa kung makikita po nyo. That is a woven bamboo po, na kung saan po ang inahin niya nasa loob, ang sisiw po sa labas. On the first week of raising po nyo, kung backyard po, pili bang huwag nyo munang ipalabas ang mga sisiw sa galaan? Kung palabasin yung sisiw sa galaan, pili bang patuyuin nyo muna ang mga dahon ng damo sa moisture para at least safety? Kasi pag pinagala mo yung mga sisiw nyo, kasi ang inahin, kasi pag hindi yan nakakulong, lalabas at lalabas yan, dadalhin ang mga sisiw kung saan-saan, kahit basa pa yung dahon, it will lead into what they call the stress. But on the commercial scale of production po, no, you need what they call the provision of the brooder. Yung kung makikita po nyo dyan sa may bandang kanan po nyo, no, we use as what they call the brooder heater po. And that brooder heater, that is a charcoal feed brooder heater. When we use it noon, kasi ang konsumo niyan sa ang konsumo niyan sa uling po, umaabot hanggang 2 kilo po. No, that is good for 8 to 10 hours na operation, and that could serve as a heater for about 150 to 200 chicks. Kung makikita po nyo dyan. Yan kasi ang mga consideration natin if you're going to raise your native chicken in commercial scale. Na brooder by itself. Pag hindi mailagay sa tamang pagbo-brood po yung mga manok natin o mga sisiw natin, mortality will increase. Sabihin nyo palagi that in the first week walang masyadong mortality, but on the second and third week doon umakyat ang mortality. Bakit? It is because na during the first week doon nag-umpisa ang infection. Kaya nga sabi nila palagi is that na border pneumonia ang kalimitan na umatake pag hindi matama yung init. So those are what they call the differences in terms of the packages of technology, no, on commercial versus the backyard scale of production.